Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How's it going? There's a Rue in the background. Okay. Hi, Rue. What you doing? What you doing? You want my attention? Come here. You have to now. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Ah, I got him. He's like, I didn't want this. Okay, now you can go. All right. I'm just advertising that I'm live to Instagram, and then I will get going. Twitch.com/Beccasphere. I used to try to post it on Snapchat too, but for some reason my Snapchat thing is just not wanting to present the link, which is really annoying. Like, I'll post it and I'm pretty sure that there's no link for it, which is, yeah, there's no link, which is great. There's an attachment, but how do you see the attachment when you're just viewing it? I don't know. I don't like it. I'm gonna delete it. Delete. Okay, whatever. I tried. My cat's full of himself, so just heads up. And my cords are all over the place, so yeah. Okay, let's bring this a little closer. I have my Beccasphere mug. Okay. Hey y'all, it's Becky here from the Beccasphere, where we talk about climate news and solutions, and today we're going to dive into two more of the Senate races that are kind of just toss-ups at this point, to talk about the climate perspectives of those candidates. So, also, I just published a video on the Beccasphere YouTube channel about how climate change and economic votes are basically the same thing. They should be considered the same thing because it hurts the economy. Climate change hurts the economy. So definitely check that out if you haven't. Yeah. Anyways, so my back has been really hurting me. Actually, you know what? One sec. Let me get some ibuprofen because my back is hurting me a lot. I need to start going to the gym because my back just gets really, really stiff from all the, video editing and not moving. So, ooh, there's my BRB thing. Wow, I used that for such a long time. Okay, there we go. Now I'm taking ibuprofen live on stream. Very exciting. Fun fact about me, if anyone cares. I sprained my back when I was in high school from stretching. Because I was trying to compete with all the flexible girls in color guard. And I failed. I was literally sitting down with my legs like this, stretching to my left side, and my back just popped. I'm in the right side, actually. It was the right side. Sorry, it was the right side. This part of my back just popped. And I did not let it fully recover because I was too insistent on getting the rifle spot. So I got it. I got the rifle spot, but also I just now deal with consistent back pain. So that's fun. Though I actually already had a shitty back before that, because I don't know, in middle school, is it normal for middle school kids to just have their back pop? And not when you're cracking it, when you're just walking. I had to have a roller backpack in middle school, and then I was bullied. So, middle school trauma, we all have it. I was bullied a lot in middle school. Anyways, and high school. Anyways, Now I'm here. Now I'm here and I'm a Twitch streamer, so joke's on them. Okay. Oh boy, man. I just share things. Okay, let's get into this. All right, so we're going to talk today about Nevada and Arizona. I could not find the previous article that I was looking at, which had 6 Senate races, but you know we only got through 2 last week, so who's to say we'll get through another 4 this week? So let's just start with this, and then if we have more afterwards, then we can just go ahead and look more up if we have more time. So we're going to start with Cortez Masto. And see what her climate positions are. So I like to go to not her official page if they're an incumbent, but I like to go to their campaign page. So there's their campaign page. And then we'll also look at her voting record through the League of Conservation Voters. Okay, fighting for Nevadans. Yes. Economy, healthcare. Ooh, she has a climate change and a drought and wildfires. That's interesting that they're in separate categories. That's really interesting, but she's just got a lot. But I think those are the 2 we're going to focus on. So, okay. Climate change. Also, did I make my... Yes, okay, the mic is working. I've done that before where the mic did not get turned back on after I went BRB. Okay. Protecting our environment and combating climate change. Yes. I don't know why I'm talking like a Valley girl today, but it is what it is. Okay, Catherine has been a champion for renewable energy, leading the fight for a solar tax credit that helps tackle climate change and create Nevada jobs. She also passed key provisions in the bipartisan infrastructure bill to help combat climate change by promoting electric vehicle development. Those are good things. She has been steadfast in protecting Nevada's public lands and natural resources. When the Trump administration wanted to dump nuclear waste at Yucca Mountain, I remember that. She blocked them repeatedly, and she's leading legislation to make sure the failed Yucca Mountain project is never revisited again. So they were trying to stick nuclear waste in the mountain, which is a move. I mean, to be fair, it's got to go somewhere, but not a mountain. She worked to protect the pristine Ruby Mountains from speculative drilling and to strengthen our $4 billion outdoor economy that supports 50,000 jobs in the state. She also works with Nevada Republicans to prevent homes and businesses from flooding in the Truckee Mountains. Nice. And then she had some articles for that. So she's been supported by the local newspapers and by the League of Conservation Voters, so I'm guessing she probably has a pretty good voting record. Pretty short, though. Pretty short. Pretty short explanation. She looks very serious in this. Okay, drought and wildfires. Again, very interesting that it's a separate thing, and also interesting that she doesn't have an energy page. She has those 2. Combating drought and wildfires. As a lifelong Nevadan, Catherine has seen our state's challenges with drought and wildfires get worse and worse, and she has led efforts to help Nevada fight back. She passed bipartisan legislation to address the wildfire blanketing our state in smoke and threatening Nevada communities and jobs, helping deliver a historic $3.4 billion to prevent and combat wildfires. She secured critical support for our heroic firefighters, including a pay raise and funds to hire additional firefighters so they have the resources they need. Catherine delivered bipartisan legislation to protect Nevada's water supply. She secured $450 million for large-scale water recycling, funding a local project that will produce enough water to serve more than 500,000 households in the region. That's good work. It's a good list. And she has been praised by the Reno fire chief. And yeah, dope. Okay, let's go ahead and look at her voting record. This is going by pretty fast. Fuck, I already forgot her name. Okay, Cortez Masto. League of Conservation Voters scorecard. Anyone want to guess? I'm going to guess 95%. And the answer is lifetime score of 97%, so I was close, but 2021 score of 100%. Very nice, very nice. Cool. So she's cool. We like her. What about her challenger, Adam Laxalt? Interesting last name. I wonder what the origin of that last name is. Okay. Adam Laxalt. Oh, is he the Attorney General originally? Is that what's going on? Wait. Hold on, I saw something. Oh no. 14 members of Laxalt family endorse Democratic rival. Ouch. That's rough. Okay, sorry. Just that's rough. Ooh. Okay. He's got 3 kids and a dog. What I'm seeing. This website's... Okay, so he was a veteran, I'm guessing. Continue to cite. Why is this website so weird? Okay, where's your issues page, my dude? This website's just taking a sec to load, so I guess I'll just give it a sec. I say as I keep scrolling, which is not helping. Store coalitions. Okay. The dude has... Oh, there it is. Issues page. So weird. You should put your issues page as your home page, especially if you're going to have people scroll to get through all of your options anyways. Economy. Oh, we're not having separate pages. We're just like going for it. Okay. So we got... Yeah, okay. Okay, there's really not much here that I can talk about. I mean, because he doesn't really talk about energy, it doesn't seem. The misguided policies of President Joe Biden and Senator Catherine Cortez Masto have left Nevada families at or near the bottom in nearly every statistical area. As Senator Adam will work quickly to restore fiscal sanity by stopping the spending spree that has led to record-breaking inflation. The price of groceries, gas, and everyday household goods amount to the massive tax increase on Nevadans that make life at the lower income and unworkable. The ends just don't meet anymore. Adam will stand up to reckless mandates that have done enormous damage to the workforce, especially the most vulnerable workers, and will implement policies that boost our supply chains and help employers provide good paying, steady jobs to hardworking Nevadans. So I can infer things from this about his climate perspectives, but honestly, like, this doesn't tell me anything. So let's go ahead and look at, if we just type in Adam Laxalt climate change, see what comes up. Okay, for Inside Climate News, they have something on this. Okay, it seems like he's taken the usual conservative approach, which is energy independence equates to more oil and gas drilling, basically. Okay. In Nevada's Senate race, energy policy is a stark divide between Cortez Masto and Laxalt. I'm already a subscriber. Stop. In Nevada's extremely tight U.S. Senate race between incumbent Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto and GOP challenger Adam Laxalt, energy policy and oil have emerged as attack issues alongside inflation, the economy, and abortion. Cortez Masto, the first Latina senator and climate progressive who supports the development of renewable energy and wants to limit fossil fuel exploration on public lands, has attacked Laxalt for his ties with his ties to big oil companies that are price gouging our families. Laxalt, a former Nevada attorney general and staunch ally to former President Donald Trump, who has championed Trump's election fraud lies, blames Cortez Masto for high gasoline prices. It's so stupid when they do that. My dude, this is a global issue. Stop. Why do people do that? I mean, I know why people do that. They're trying to demonize people, but they're stupid. And they're assuming American people are stupid too. And apparently we are, because a lot of people believe that all it takes is to just, I don't know, wave a magic wand and have the gas prices lower. Like, what do you want one elected official to do about a global problem? What do you want them to do? I'm so confused by that logic, because there is none. Also, again, fossil fuel companies are sitting on so much land that they are not developing on. They're not developing on like half of the land that they have. So giving them more land won't do anything. Maybe threatening a windfall tax, unless they produce more, like Biden said, would do something. But also, we don't necessarily want them to increase their production, because that goes against our climate policies. So maybe let's increase renewable energy. It just seems like an idea, a potential idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too woke, I guess. I don't know. Which woke just means that you are aware of shit. I have another tangent I was going to go on, but I'm not going to. Anyways, okay. But bottom line, he blames his opponent for high gas prices because she can definitely control those, for sure. According to an average of 13 polls monitored by 538, the website that analyzes politics, Cortez Masto led by 0.4 points as of October 31st. That's not much. Real Clear Politics shows a lead of Laxalt by 1 point as of October 31st. Their poll averages show that Cortez Masto was leading until September 14th. What happened then? The dude literally has his family members saying that you shouldn't vote for him. What are people doing? Like, honestly, like, I don't even care about the political lean for the most part. If your whole family comes out and says don't support them, that's not a good sign. It's just not, like, family values. I don't know. Then again, would I be saying that if it was like some Democratic official or candidate or whatever and their whole family were Trump supporters? Yeah, okay. Maybe it doesn't matter as much. The Nevada seat is among a handful of closely contested Senate races that could determine control of the upper chamber, in which each party currently holds 50 seats, and the Democrats control a virtue by Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. The Cortez Masto is considered by many analysts to be the most vulnerable Democrat incumbent. No! On Laxalt's campaign website, there is an image of Cortez Masto taking a selfie superimposed over pictures of gasoline station prices across Nevada. He blames the state's high gasoline prices on what he sees as the insufficiency of the Democratic policies that prioritize renewable energy, which, okay. Let's talk about that for a sec. Okay, let's talk about that, because actually, what I want to do is there was an op piece that I want to read because I do think it's really interesting. Let me see if I can find that. I think it's in my recaps list, because I think this is a really interesting discussion point that provides a little more nuance to the whole conversation of what is causing these gas prices and what's causing fossil fuel companies not to develop on more land. So let me find that. Okay. Here it is. At first I was like, no, I don't think this is like the case, but I think this might have some truth to it. And I don't think that this, like you can tell from the title, it's very clickbaity. I don't think that this means that it is environmentalists' fault that fossil fuel companies are behaving the way they do. But I think this is a very interesting point. I personally still don't see the humanity in fossil fuel companies for the most part, which again, I'm only referring to the execs, the PR people for the execs, the banks that are supplying money for the fossil fuel expansion, the politicians that are providing the land leases for the fossil fuel expansion, and there's one other, and the lawyers that are helping them get out of trouble for being shits. Those are the people that I blame. When I say fossil fuel companies, those are the people I'm referring to. Okay. We told big oil not to invest. Don't complain now. The invisible hand of the free market is not working like it used to in balancing oil supply and demand. The cure for oil gas price. Oh, I have a person. Hey, what's up, Airbalin? Hey, hanging out in Levelhead stream who watches a video of yours, so I thought may as well go to the source. Hey, cool. What video was he watching? I'm curious. I hope y'all liked it. I'm happy he's watching my videos. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know which video he's watching. Let's see. So, yeah, so the cure for high oil prices is yes. The cure for high oil prices is high prices. Or so says the commodity industry adage about fossil fuel companies. Oh, is it the one that I just posted? Nice. I hope he likes it. I hope people find it interesting because that was something a little different where I just kind of like talked. That was not scripted at all. Exxon was mentioned. Yeah, I think that's probably my most recent video. Yes. Because I don't think I talked about fossil fuel companies too much in the last video. At least not. I need to talk about their record profits more. Which I did in the most recent one. So if that's what it was, then yes. It's about the economy. Yes. This has proven true for centuries. In commodities, a bust follows every boom. I wish I could just like join the stream with him. Like we could do a duo stream. I would be so down. It happened after the Klondike Gold Rush in 1896 during the second oil crisis in 1979 and follows the petroleum. Yeah. Okay. Deep breaths, Becky. Let's read this properly. Okay, let's start the paragraph over. This has also been proven true for centuries. In commodities, a bust follows every boom. It happens after the Klondike Gold Rush in 1896, during the second oil crisis in 1979, and follows the most recent U.S. shale boom a decade ago. Generations of petroleum engineers, geologists, and financiers have grown up swearing by it. So they're swearing by the cure for high oil prices is high prices. Yeah, newest one. I did my own research. Good job. Thank you. I wonder if that's where Axios gets its name. Side note. But the axiom no longer seems to be governing the oil market. To be sure, the elevated cost of crude is suppressing appetite, but the other side of the equation, supply, isn't working out. The industry simply hasn't been reacting to high prices with more investment as it has before. Yes, that's the key. Hey, Hannah. Hi. I'm happy you joined me for your break. Thank you. We're talking about why oil prices are continuing to go up, and yet the companies are not investing more. They're just like making record profits, and that's it. So, fun topic. The industry simply hasn't been reacting to high prices with more investment as it has before. This means demand will have to do all the work to rebalance the oil market. The result is likely to be a slower economy and more sustained energy costs than in the past, which is why we need to move to a cheaper form of energy, such as wind and solar. Why isn't the supply lever working? Money certainly isn't the problem. Big Oil has reported its best ever 6-month period, earning more than $100 billion in profits from April to September. ExxonMobil Corp just enjoyed its best quarter in its 152-year history, which goes all the way back to John D. Rockefeller. Yikes. Neither Exxon nor its competitors Chevron, Shell, or Total Energies or BP have announced any major increases in spending beyond what they already planned. Institutional investors led by BlackRock have convinced virtually every oil executive to keep spending under control. Fuck you, BlackRock. I mean, but it's so conflicting, right? Because it's like, no, you don't want them to invest more. But also now they're just making record profits and that's it. So I hate both. I hate both options. We need to not give them money. Pierre Breber, the chief financial officer at Chevron, put it this way, quote, "We're not really paid for growth by the market. Instead, they are channeling the profits into dividends and share buybacks." Yep. In the past, some executives would have tried to kickstart a boom to bust cycle, boost the spending early, increase production, and then cash in before the prices crash. Today, the pressure from shareholders to remain frugal is so strong and uniform across the industry that from the outside, it almost looks like a cartel. The result is cartel-like. Big Oil is collectively underinvesting by a lot. Yes. So this is current spending versus annual spending under climate policies versus annual spending under climate pledges versus annual spending for net zero by 2050. So they're actually almost hitting what we would want them to hit for net zero. So that's interesting. Last year, the industry spent $305 billion on oil exploration and production, significantly below what's required to meet oil demand until the end of the decade based on the most likely scenarios. According to the International Energy Agency, the world's energy industry needs to spend nearly 50% more annually from 2022 to 2030 to meet the world's oil needs based on current climate change policies. Even if governments implement current strategies and other climate pledges they have made, including some net zero targets, investment still needs to grow by 25% from current levels until at least 2030, which is... So, I mean, I guess what I'm hearing is that Biden should definitely try to do the whole wind tax threat to try to get them to produce more, because I guess they should produce more, which is a terrible thing for me to say, and I really hate saying that. It hurts me inside. What do you guys think of this nuanced approach? Because I just am so... It's so conflicting. It's so conflicting, but it's... I hate reality. Let's not kid ourselves. Oil companies are doing what we told them to do, spend less on fossil fuel production. From green philanthropists to big Wall Street investors, the message has been nearly unanimous. One can hardly blame the executives for doing as they were told. The industry, of course, soon realized that spending less was rather good business, particularly when very few deviated. See, that's the thing, very few deviated. Only a handful of state-owned oil companies in the Middle East are today boosting their fossil fuel spending meaningfully. The industry has been collaborating for a world of peak oil and rapidly declining petroleum demand, but that world simply doesn't exist today, nor will exist tomorrow or in the near future. I hope they're wrong about this one. I hope they're wrong about this last part, in the near future. I agree it doesn't exist today, nor will it probably exist tomorrow, but I hope it exists in the near future. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has made that all too clear. But countries are exponentially moving away from fossil fuels faster because of the invasion. So there is that. Not really that fast, though. It's kind of just half-ass. Facing high oil prices, Western governments are now trying to force the industry to accelerate spending. But having witnessed to how profitable it can be to ignore the industry's old adage, Oil executives are very reluctant to cooperate. They know more spending means lower prices. Hey, James. It's a weird one because the US seems super fixated on oil just now, whereas Europe is fixated on gas. That's true. That's a very interesting distinction. Gas is the driver in most price hikes because of how energy is bought and sold, whereas oil often only really drives the cost of filling up a car. That's a good point. Yeah. Huh. Let me marinate on that for just a sec, because that's a really good point. Yeah, because most growth is definitely happening, like globally. I feel like most fossil fuel growth is definitely happening for gas than it is for the other options. And there's going to be less demand for oil as more people move to electric vehicles. But at the same time, what's interesting, I think the reason why the US is fixated on oil is completely political. I think it's because you get a visual reaction from seeing the gas pump prices. And I think that might be why they're completely fixated on oil compared to other things. Or trains. Trains would be great. Yeah. I agree with that. Seriously. What is this link? Let me see. Electricity prices dictated by gas producers who provide less than half of UK energy. Now that's interesting. Yeah, so that's another thing that's kind of stupid too, is that they're like, yeah, let's cap the price for clean energy. Let's make sure that they're cheap. But then they don't do the same shit for fossil fuels, even though fossil fuels are more expensive. Like, what? Also, I accept the cookies. Leave me alone. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to look at this. I'm going to finish with the other article, but then let's go back to this one, okay? But isn't this super interesting? Like, again, I'm not giving oil execs humanity. I refuse, because they don't fucking give us humanity. So why should we give them humanity? But at the same time, I think this is a very interesting little bit of an inside look into their brains, maybe. It could be how the US's grid system is built, though. I don't really know anything about how the energy system works in the United States. Maybe oil is just a bigger part of it. I don't know. Like, it feels to me like oil and gas is pretty even in the US, like just based on development. Maybe we export more. But if we export more, then that's not really an argument for lowering our own gas prices. That's another thing, too, is that I remember hearing something about how, and maybe this was Obama's administration, but one of the recent administrations made it easier for fossil fuel companies to prioritize exporting their product instead of keeping it domestic. And that has also resulted in us not seeing any boost to our production, even if they were to produce more. So if they were to produce more, that production would just go overseas. It wouldn't actually be really used to help Americans see any gas price decrease. That's what I remember. Yeah. So I think it's political, like, again, the gas prices, the gas pump, it's just, you can see it. And with the midterms being the way that they are right now, like, that's a really big one. Every single, like, I just finished covering, and if you want, we can go back to Catherine Masto and her opponent, because her opponent was saying the same thing that everybody else says, which is just that they're fighting for energy independence, which means increasing the production of oil and gas, right? And he, like, shits on Catherine for, he blames Cortez Masto for high gas prices and that it's their fault, which is just so stupid because it's a global issue. And so it sucks how many Americans fall for that they think that one politician can make a significant difference on a global issue. Like, that's frustrating that that actually plays a part as big of it does as it does in politics. You know, it's the same kind of thing with just how much people think that Biden has control over like immediate economic results from his predecessor. Like, things take time, and so sometimes when a decent president puts policies in place, you won't see the impacts of those policies until the next president is in place, and then that president takes credit even though it wasn't him that did that, you know? And it's just so frustrating because that's just the same thing, you know? Great man theory-esque. I have not heard that. What is that? Is great man theory a thing? But yeah, so that's just, you know, I think that that's probably why they're focused so much on oil in particular. But I think that meanwhile, Europe is focusing so much on gas because gas is cheaper and it actually impacts the energy system more because it's more reliant on gas. Because while the US is seeing some inflation and is seeing a little bit of an economic hit from the Ukraine-Russia war, it's nowhere near as much as Europe is feeling it. So I feel like while the US is focused on political antics when it comes to fossil fuel production, so they're focusing on oil, Europe is actually focusing on trying to just stay warm, and so then they're focusing more on gas. I think that's my theory. That is my theory on what's going on. James bringing in the links today. My goodness. Okay, hold on. I need to decrease my my linkage because I feel like my computer is just already struggling a lot with this whole thing. So let me just drop some stuff here. Okay. That's all I'm going to drop. Okay, now add. You have 2. Okay. I'm going to go back here to yours. There's a good bit of geopolitics going on here with oil for sure, and particularly Saudi Arabia here. Okay. I'm going to finish this first, and then we're going to go to the other link that you already showed me, and then we can go to those ones, okay? And maybe at some point in between, we'll go back to the Senate races, okay? But I think this is a really important topic. Maybe we need to dedicate a whole Friday to just talking about, like, oil and oil stuff, you know? It is basically the belief that history is driven by a few great individuals or something like that. Oh, yeah. So people like to use that for their own, like, opponents and stuff and be like, yes, you are the person that shaped history. Therefore, it's your fault. And they're just, like, standing there going, I voted for things, and that's all I can do. Just like us. Congressmen aren't that different than us. They just try to vote for things, and then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think many people believe that is the same, that is some way or shape a problem. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's go back to the op piece. Okay. Let's see. So, where was I? I've lost track. Middle East boosting, right? Okay. The industry has been calibrating for a world of peak oil and rapidly declining petroleum demand, but that world is simply yeah. I believe it is the near future. Screw you. You might be right, but I don't want to hear it. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has made that all too clear. Facing high oil prices, Western governments are now trying to force the industry to accelerate spending. But having witnessed how profitable it could be to ignore the industry's old adage, oil executives are very reluctant to cooperate. They know more spending means lower prices. On Monday, President Joe Biden threatened the industry with higher taxes unless the company agreed to boost not just oil production, but also oil refining. Hey, what's up, Selvage Dad? Oh my goodness, I'm getting rated. Oh, sweet. And thank you for the follow, Levelhead and Ghost 0675. I greatly appreciate you. Hey, yes, I am a cat mama for sure. Easy follow. Yes. Oh man, I love it when people follow for my cat. I don't care. It's great. I heard that you guys recently watched one of my videos. Thank you. Now show cat. I literally have no idea where he is. I think he's downstairs. I will show Kat in a little bit. I'll find him. I will find him and I will show him, but in a little bit. If he's behind me, I will show you. If he's downstairs or something, then you gotta wait. Yeah, no, he's downstairs cuddling with my dog. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting. It was a little different than what I usually do because it wasn't scripted. And I think that's the one you guys watched, right? Was the one I just posted. So I was a little nervous posting it, but I'm glad that you liked it. Hopefully you liked it. Thank you, Selvage Dad, for the follow. And what breed? Black short hair street cat. My brother found him on the side of the road. Those are great emotes. I need to work on my emotes. I really need to. There needs to be major Rue emotes for sure. Oh, the dog, Black Lab, also a street animal. My parents found that one on the side of the road. They bond because they're both little black critters we found on the side of the road. And then I have another dog who's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix named Carly, and she's a pretty, pretty little princess, and she was actually purchased. Yes. So we are just finishing up this op-ed talking about kind of more the nuances having to do with why oil prices are so high. To give a summary, basically, oil industries used to do this thing where they would raise prices to decrease demand so that they could produce more and then lower prices over time. And then a lot of people were saying, hey, we're going to move towards a clean energy transition, so you're going to no longer be needed soon. And so then they just sat on their stuff and they stopped producing as much so that they could increase prices. And now they're finding that they don't even need to lower prices anymore. And instead they just keep the prices high, then they can just make a shit ton of money. And so now they basically lost their morals when it comes to it. That's the gist. Those listening to more of the article, let me know if that was a good summary or if I missed something. I want to have a German Shepherd and 2 cats when I move into my own place. My brother really wants a German Shepherd. I actually found a German Shepherd lab mix on the side of the road last year. I got him adopted by someone else. He was huge, and you need a good backyard if you get one of those. Hi, why so dankness? First time chatter, I like fresh pretzels with cheese sauce and long walks in the rain. I too like long walks in the rain. I haven't had a fresh pretzel in a really long time, so I need to get a fresh pretzel. And I'm in California, so we don't know what rain is, but I've heard it's a cool concept. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. And thank you also, Globus the Elder, for a follow as well. Okay, so let's finish up this op story, and then we're going to move on to another one that James sent me talking about what's happening in England with electricity prices. So we're kind of going between those, and then we're going to get back to the Senate race stuff. Okay. I don't have a Discord. I need to work on that. I'm kind of intimidated by group chats, if I'm perfectly honest, and so Discord makes me nervous. You could share some articles. You're welcome to share articles. I have it so that the links are available in like you can just post the links in the chat, because I haven't had anyone abuse that yet. I'm sure it will happen. I do find a lot of animals on the side of the road. I get it from my mom. She's found at least like 5 or 6 cats over her history. She can make a whole children's book series on the cats that she has found. The way that right-wingers have been able to reframe the oil company's failure to produce more as a lack of leases and do so successfully is maddening. Seriously, it boggles my fucking mind that people believe that shit. But also now it's just political, so it's like you say that, then you're like, oh, you're just a woke Democrat, you don't know shit, when it's just true. All right, I'll pull that one up as well. Thank you. All right, and feel free to send me more, but I'm going to finish up with this. Okay, here we go. So, where should we, we'll go back a little bit. let's not kid ourselves. Oil companies are doing what we told them to do, spend less on fossil fuel production. From green philanthropists to big Wall Street investors, the message has been unanimous. One can hardly blame the executives for doing as they were told. The industry, of course, soon realized that spending less was rather good business, particularly with very few deviated. Only a handful of state-owned oil companies in the Middle East are today boosting their fossil fuel spending meaningfully. The industry has been collaborating for a world of peak oil and rapidly declining petroleum demand. But that world simply doesn't exist today, nor will it tomorrow or in the near future. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has made that all too clear. And again, I don't want that part to be true, okay? Near future, please. Please, near future. Also, I have a more doomer investigative piece about produced water spills. Oh no. Oh no. I'm glad you found us both, Ghost. That's awesome. Yeah, feel free to send it over, but I need something stronger than this tea. I drink tea and spill it at the same time. On Monday, U.S. President Joe Biden threatened the industry with higher taxes unless the company agreed to boost not just oil production, but also oil refining. White House officials portray the speech as an olive branch to the fossil fuel industry, which is very interesting. A direct plea that represents a 180-degree policy change from Biden's campaign when he promised no more drilling. Well, clearly we knew that wasn't going to last from the get-go. Government officials are wise to arm themselves with a stick when negotiating with the powerful business sector. Windfall taxes could play a role in those talks, though they're unlikely to be effective. Reducing the profitability of an industry via higher levies doesn't encourage more spending. If Biden wants more oil, he needs to reset the conversation completely, and that means telling green campaigners and Wall Street investors loud and clear that America needs fossil fuels right now. Or just, here's an idea, we just need to spend more on clean energy and just like shrink the demand for the fossil fuel industry. Also through things like just increasing energy efficiency in homes. That would do a shit ton. That would do so much work if we just prioritize that. Tea. Why is government promoting oil? Government's promoting oil because, honestly, I think it's because it's politically charged by the fact that people can see gas prices. It does impact inflation with having those gas prices so high. But the thing is that oil companies are already sitting on so much land that the fact that they're not investing more, which they would usually do. They used to, when they got more profits, they would invest more, but now they're just seeing it's profitable to just not. And then they could be like, well, we're not expanding oil production, so we're being environmentally friendly. But what's interesting is what I was seeing up here, which is this part, which is last year, the industry spent $305 billion in oil exploration and production, significantly below what's required to meet the oil demand until the next decade based on the most likely scenarios. According to the International Energy Agency, the world's energy industry needs to spend nearly 50% more annually from 2022 to 2030 to meet the world's oil needs based on current climate change policies. So that's what's interesting, is that we actually do need more oil if we are dealing with what our current energy policies are. But if we were to become more strategic with our climate policies and go in that direction instead, then we wouldn't need them to be doing as much. In fact, current spending is almost exactly the same as the annual spending needed to hit net zero. So if we, instead of focusing our energy on increasing production, if we instead focus our energy on increasing clean energy supply, then we would be way more in line with our actual climate goals that we need without having fossil fuel companies doing anything. Or just a concept, fossil fuel companies can invest in clean energy, but they're not going to. I mean, they have a teeny bit, but only enough to run ads on it. I've heard the EU is great at clean energy, though. They like to say they are. They're better at marketing themselves as they are, honestly. I just waked by a squeaked lizard kitten missing the top of its head yesterday. What? Okay, that's terrifying. I don't think the kids saw. Why are you telling me this? Because there was a sheep. They were chatting. Okay. The natural gas industry has boomed here every time a Democrat is president. Yeah, no, it's also not true to say that Democrats are pro clean energy, because they're just not, which is what I was saying in sort of like the writing part of the end of my video. Yeah, and they still say this shit. Absolutely. We all need a clean energy supporting dictator. I mean, that would make shit go faster for sure. It's kind of funny because, like, I'm going to do a video on ecofascism, okay? That will basically be a hard no. It depends on what the dictator has in mind, because it seems like the only dictators that we are getting are right-wing dictators, which are then fascists, and so they also want to close borders and blame overpopulation on the issue, and that just leads to genocide. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a no on that one. But honestly, like, our democratic system is moving far too slow for climate change, which sucks. Maybe there's a dictator like Marcus Aurelius, who knows? Yeah. Okay, so that was this article, which is really interesting. So that gives us a little bit more of a nuanced picture of what is going on when it comes to what fossil fuel companies are thinking versus what policies are being suggested. But again, I think that that there's ways around this, that the answer is not to tell green campaigners to stop saying we need to stop with fossil fuels. Instead, it's to boost energy efficiency, boost clean energy production, and to also and maybe to use a windfall tax to pay for that. But windfall tax would probably be required to go through Congress, so it won't happen, especially if we lose Congress. So that's fun. It's great. It's a good time. I have quite a lot of notes and stuff on eco-authoritarianism. That. I can't do a video on it if I can't pronounce it. Eco-authoritarianism. There we go. Now I can make a video on it. If you want to see some of that point, I still haven't actually finished the article thing I was writing on it, but yeah, I still have some books. Yeah, no, I'm interested in what you got. I do need a Discord. Ugh. Should I make a Discord like right now? Because I agree, I need a place where we can chat about stuff, because I have so many videos ideas that I know y'all would definitely be able to like help me with fleshing out my research for it. But if you liked the video style that I just did, that is good, because it's so much easier. Like, normally I wouldn't encourage people to say things and then find research to back themselves up, right? Like, you don't want to do that, because that's how you get yourself into a logic trap. But I know my shit. And so I know I could say things and then easily find the research that supports that. And sure enough, it was fun. It was fun, like, finding all the articles to put over what I was saying, because it's so fucking easy to do that. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hannah, for joining me. Have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Love you. I just use mine as a place to collect content and stuff. I don't chat in there much. I suck at the social part. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for saying you also suck at that, because group chats literally scare me, okay? I hate group chats. Because half the time people are saying just stupid shit. And I can't follow it. I'm part of a group chat with my brother and his friends, and it's just a disaster. Okay, guys. I'm creating a Discord. You've convinced me. Do I do it for a club or community, or for me and my friends? I don't know how to do this. Does it make a difference which I say? I can skip the question for now. I guess it's a community. Oh, yeah, it is a community. What am I saying? Okay, Beckosphere. Okay. And now I take the link. Hello, Alex. How are you? You've never been in group chat with a sibling? I mean, my brother and I are twins, so we're always up in each other's business. But there you go. Congratulations. I now have a Discord. I'm terrified. I need a picture for it. So I'll do a picture of Rue. Hey, I got people in it. Hey, thank you. Thank you, y'all. Probably the best fine tune any Discord before sending invites out, by the way. Good to know. Okay, well, I did that. I'm sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, moderation, here we go. Okay, is it reasonable to just do it? Okay, I'm going to say you have to have a verified email in your Discord account. We'll start with that. And then it says don't send any media content, so that might not be the best thing to do because you want links, right? Okay. We'll see if that helps at all. I trust, even though I literally just met several of you, I'm going to say I trust you guys for now. I'm not going to advertise it too much until I do more moderation with it, but I'll give it to you all for now, okay? Let me know if you can't send links in it or something like that, and I'll fix that. Okay, so there we go. Now I have a Discord. People have been wanting me to do that for a while, so thank you also, Wysa Dankness and Rotted Ranch for giving me a follow. Oh no, Ghost, I'm scared. Find two permissions on who. Yeah, it's more of the moderation thing, which is on both of these things that I'm still like learning. Yes, thank you. Okay, all right, so now let's go back. Okay, I do want to talk more about oil stuff. I also do want to talk about the Senate races. I think before I continue with the oil stuff, let me go back to what Senate races I was talking about. I'm going to go through the process again that I did before with the races. So if you weren't here on, which I'm guessing most of you were not here last Friday, I talked about Dr. Oz versus Fetterman, and I talked about Raphael Warnock versus Walker. So if you want to see those, I have a second channel on YouTube called Beccasphere Streams where I upload all my Friday streams. So check that out if you want to hear my perspective about their perspectives. And I think I also go on a little bit of a tangent about like capitalism, but all in a day's work. So yes, so we already talked about those, which are the first two in this list. And then before there was frankly anyone in the chat, I talked about Nevada. So we can go back to, you gotta go. Okay, well, thank you for being here, Ghost. I appreciate you. Yes, go to sleep. Have good dreams, Ghost. But yes, so AR just joined. Nice. Okay, so Nevada. So here's what we know. I'm just getting a Democrat text for my area, which is funny. By the way, again, if y'all haven't filled out your ballots, please do. I finally filled mine out yesterday, so now I'm not a hypocrite when I tell everybody else to do it. But all right, so what I did for this is I like to just look at the candidate page, like not the current senator page, but like what their campaign page is, just to be even, because obviously those that are not incumbents don't have all the Senate pages. So I like to see how they talk about themselves, I guess. So we went over to Catherine's page, and what was interesting is that she didn't have an energy issues page. You just got a text from your local Democrat campaign? There you go. You are actually in, I mean, Colorado. Does Colorado, my area, at least like my part of Central California, doesn't have that much, like it's pretty blue. But if you go just a little further south central, then it's a very big toss-up race. And SoCal has some toss-up races as well. What about in Colorado? Do you have a lot of toss-up races, or are you just kind of like very blue or red? I'm curious. You said you're in rural Colorado too, right? Okay, so she did not have energy, which was interesting, but she had climate change and she had drought and wildfires. So I thought that was really weird. But this is her climate change page. And her things weren't really that long, but she was basically just talking about how she blocked the Trump administration from dumping nuclear waste in Yucca Mountain. Colorado is a weird mix because the valley I'm in is fossil fuel extraction economy, so red, but the valley over in the resort community is very much blue. Yeah, that's about what I would expect. But it's kind of all one big area economically. Interesting. But they're different voting areas, like they split it up between the two. I find redistricting has just been so interesting. It's been a very mixed bag. Was there a lot of redistricting? Because there was a decent amount of redistricting in California, actually. Like, my area got redistricted. It didn't really impact us politically, really, but it yeah. Yeah, so she avoided nuclear waste being put into Yucca Mountain, and she worked to protect the pristine Ruby Mountains from speculative drilling and strengthen our $4 billion outdoor economy that supports 50,000 jobs in the state. And she's worked with Nevada Republicans to prevent homes and businesses from being flooded in the Truckee Meadows. We have independent redistricting now. Interesting. Huh. That's very interesting. So that's basically what she's about. She also passed key provisions in the bipartisan infrastructure bill to help combat climate change by promoting electric vehicle development. And she's a champion for renewable energy and fighting for a solar tax credit. So those are all good things. Solar is very good for Nevada, that's for sure. So that was her for climate change. And then for drought and wildfires, it was kind of similar. She basically fought to pay for $3.4 billion to prevent and combat wildfires. And she helped pass that bipartisan legislation to help address wildfires and wildfire smoke. And then she also supports firefighters and encouraged a pay raise and funds for additional firefighters and resources. And then she also secured a $450 million for large-scale water recycling, which is good too. And she is supported by the Reno fire chief. Meanwhile, I looked on her opponent's page and he didn't have anything that really talked about climate change at all. So then I went to this article by Inside Climate News that talked about their positions, and frankly, he is just basic as fuck when it comes to what all Republicans say, which is that they promote energy independence, which is code word for more oil and gas extraction, because they, for some reason, don't believe when people say that there's already enough land that's been leased to fossil fuel companies. And beyond offering to lease more land, they have not really shown any other idea of how to encourage fossil fuel companies to actually produce more product. They only talk about leasing. So they have no plan, is what I'm basically saying. Sith Lord Karl Rove thinks that the GOP has this Nevada state Senate race in the bag. It's a very, very tossed up race. I don't know why, because the Republican candidate, his whole family has come out against him. Why? Why are people supporting people when shit like that happens? Like, that just boggles my mind. Thank you very much, Alistair, for the biddies. I appreciate that very, very much. That's something I wonder before. Is there data on like areas of the US that are best suited for things like solar energy? Like, is there a heat map for areas that would produce X amount of energy? Because you'd imagine most of them would be in South where there's a lot of fossil fuels. Why is there not a big push essentially buy off Southerners with clean energy that will enrich their state? Yeah, no, that's a good question. Wildfires are because of bad forest management. It's both. That's kind of true too, but it's both. Hey, sup Carlos, aka A Difficult Truth. By the way, people, if you don't know, Levelhead and Carlos from A Difficult Truth, they both have really great political commentary channels. Definitely check them both out. They're fabulous. And if you want to just casually work with people, Levelhead is great for just like chilling and working mutually. And A Difficult Truth does great commentary on fun political videos and news and all that kind of stuff. And he's also a badass because he helped provide supplies recently for Hurricane Ian victims. So naturally great dude. So definitely check them both out. Yes. And also that means there is a moderator in the chat. So be afraid. Be very afraid. And they both wear beanies sometimes. Exactly. I need to get in the beanie club, except that would mess up my bangs. My bangs after beanies are just flat. They are just stupid flat. Yeah, no, exactly. I agreed that, it's like the same thing that I said in the video that you guys just watched. It's true that we are also increasing the amount of people and infrastructure that is at risk of being damaged by extreme weather events. But at the same time, extreme weather events are getting worse. Both of those can happen at the same time. And that's the exact same deal with wildfires too. Yes, we're doing a shit job at managing the wildfires and we're bringing more people into that space. But in addition to that, climate change is drying out the landscape and heating it up and making it windier, which is all resulting in hotter, faster wildfires, more destructive wildfires than before. All that can happen at the same time. All of those can be true at once and not discount each other. You know what I mean? Yeah, they act like it's a sole issue. And it's like, okay, great. You can... So what do they... My thing is that, okay, if they say that our fire management sucks, what are they proposing? Do they support prescribed burns? Because if they support prescribed burns, which is good, and I do, then they need to recognize, at least the fire department that is in charge of those burns need to recognize that climate change is exacerbating conditions, which makes those prescribed burn incidents more potentially dangerous, like we saw in New Mexico, right? Which is why it's really important to keep all those in mind at the same time. Fun, well, kind of he is the videos, except for the cute animal videos. Those are cute, yes. Where I'm at, there's less workers, but the same amount of infrastructure, all of which is aging and breaking down. So more and more accidents happen because the maintenance capacity is diminished. Yeah, I can see that. They want to log so they can drill. Yeah, no, see that's a no-go. That's a bad. I don't understand also for people that love logging, like, do they understand the importance of trees? Like, are they aware that trees impact the regional climate? that's because reducing tree cover as a form of fire management is a positive feedback loop. You have less trees then that cool down the climate, resulting in more drought conditions for perfect wildfires. So they're just going to make the situation worse if they log. I recognize that we have now moved potentially past safe prescriptive burns for as many parts of the year as we would have been able to do before. So I can support thinning out forests to some extent, but not to the extent that logging companies would want. It's basically the same argument that they do in Brazil, too. They also act like logging is sustainable because of replanting, but they plant in a row like monoculture crops, and it actually makes fires in those regrown areas more explosive. Yes, exactly. That's another thing, too, is that And that's also the argument with biomass production too. Here, I'm just going to go to me. Because I'm just chatting. Hi, me. They destroy the biodiversity. Exactly. You already know. You already knew where I was going to go with that. That's the exact same thing that they argue for, wood being a sustainable biomass production, right? They say the same thing that, oh, you could just replant trees, so therefore it's renewable. But the problem is that, one, when you do it in a monoculture way, they all have the exact same resistance to fire, which is not much compared to old growth trees, so they can all easily be knocked out in one go. Two, it takes decades for new trees to develop enough carbon capture ability as old growth trees, so those are not the same thing at all. And three, biodiversity. Yeah, absolutely. Biodiversity matters for the regional climate. It matters for our food production. It matters for reducing the amount of pests. The list is endless on how biodiversity impacts the area. And so when you are just trying to monoculture your way out of everything, which is what humans just do, we just want everything to be solved by the same solution. And we're finding that that is just not working out for us at all. So, plus logging is a very common and intense process. Yeah, and it also produces a lot of air pollution too. There's that Drax logging industry going on. I'm trying to remember what state it's in, but the residents there have complained of respiratory problems because of all the tiny little wood chips in the environment from that process. So it's not good on the before burned part or the after burned part or the before logging part or the after logging part. It's all bad. Everything about that industry is bad. But yes, let's go ahead and consider it renewable by the EU. Why are our leaders so stupid? That's what I want to know. Why are leaders so fucking stupid? You got me monologuing, Levelhead. You got me monologuing. So, Masto is good, though. She seems to be pretty good, because then we looked at her track record for voting sustainably, which, by the way, highly recommend the League of Conservation Voters scorecard to understand how your candidate votes. And so this is her voting record. She has 100% environmental voting record for 2021 and a lifetime voting score of 97%, which is pretty damn good. That's what the article you sent me is about. Man, I don't even know why I plan stuff on stream. I should just let it flow where it may. But we have one more candidate to get through, or one more race to get through, at least, so I can say that this was a Senate race conversation. So let me cover this a little bit, and then I also still have that article that James sent me a while ago on. It's this one. On electricity prices dictated by gas producers who provide less than half of UK electricity, that I would like to talk about as well. And then you also sent me something on solar tech, and it definitely can bring jobs in. So that's exciting. They aren't stupid generally. They have incentives. Yeah, I know, but they're stupid in the fact that they think that they're immune from the consequences of their actions. I mean, I guess they are because they're rich. Yeah. I don't know. Well, they kind of are stupid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stand by that, because I think that not enough senators, not enough people in power understand climate science, understand the basics of climate change. I think they still are kind of stupid on that topic. A lot of them are, in my opinion. So, yes. So, Adam. Okay. So, in Nevada, extremely tight U.S. Senate race between incumbent Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto and GOP challenger Adam I can't pronounce his name. Laxalt. It's not that hard. Sup M93000. Climate change is real and a problem, but the U.S. government uses the idea of climate change to push bad policies internationally. Give me an example. Energy policy and oil have emerged as attack issues alongside inflation, economy, and abortion. Cortez Masto, the first Latina senator and climate progressive who supports the development of renewable energy and wants to limit fossil fuel exploration on public lands, has attacked Laxalt for his ties to big oil companies that are price gouging our families. Laxalt, a former Nevada attorney general and staunch ally of former President Donald Trump, who has championed Trump's elections fraud lies, blames Cortez Masto for high gasoline prices and says the Democrats' climate policies are depriving the nation of energy independence. See, it's the usual energy independence. They always say, oh, Trump made us energy independent and then Biden made us not energy independent, which makes no sense because Trump didn't do that. It's so easy to state your point when you just need to lie. Here's talk of the Green New Deal, but Republicans are against it. No surprise. Like telling African countries they can't develop their economies because it would be too bad for the environment. It's just a way of maintaining neocolonialism. That's an interesting perspective. I think that there is a larger nuanced discussion when talking about that because here's the thing. Fossil fuel production capabilities in Africa would only supply energy independence for that continent for a very short period of time. They frankly don't have that much reserves. And so when they are prioritizing building fossil fuel infrastructure as their future form of energy production, then they will eventually get themselves in the exact same position that Europe is in, with being heavily reliant on Russia and Saudi Arabia and other dictators for their energy. Now, is the United States thinking of that perspective when they are saying, no, you can't do that? I don't know. I don't know what Russia's awesome. Okay, well, that's just... But I don't know if that is the U.S.'s intent, but I will say that it actually would increase neocolonialism to have fossil fuels be the main supplier of energy for Africa, because then they're just going to be continually reliant on foreign entities for their own energy supply instead of promoting clean energy production, which would truly make them more energy independent because they have a lot of sun. But instead, they're just exporting their solar to Europe because they are kind of doing it in a neocolonialist sort of way. So there's a lot in that discussion. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll say on that right now. Oh, he's a Russian stan? Oh, Jesus. Well, that's a whole other discussion. Also, if you only rely on nuclear power, then you are making your energy vulnerable to cyber attacks by Russia. Fun fact. Russia has been trying to hack France's nuclear plants. So, yeah, they're great. Great guys. And, to go mask off. You know, I think this could be the place to do it. I could see that happening. Nuclear is not the only way to get off fossil fuels. That is it's not true. It's not true, nor would it be healthy for our energy supply because diversifying makes it harder to be attacked or to be shut down. So, I think the word you're looking for is myopic. Much, if not all of our modern political systems are designed around short-term thinking, immediate short-term turns. Yes. Problem is what happens is if you encounter an issue that is longer than 4 years, something like climate change, well, there is eco-authoritarianism pitfall that essentially what my own writing was about. Long conversation for another time. Yes. And that is a conversation I do want to have, James, because I think that is a very important one to have. And especially is important right now when we just learned that, that Italy's new leadership, Meloni, is actually in support of climate action, but she has those same anti-immigration views and kind of racist views as well. And having those be combined together is not a good combo. So now we are potentially seeing our first true eco-fascist in the works. So we should talk about it, you know? Russia wouldn't be doing that if it weren't being militarily encircled by the US and its allies. I think we're just going to agree to disagree on a lot of things, Em. And there it is. Russia hacks are in self-defense. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. Okay, I can say plenty of things in the US are not done out of self-defense. Take the time. Take the time to have a nuanced thought. Just take a moment. Take a little moment here and let's think critically, shall we? Okay? Cuz I'm not a US stan, but I'm sure as hell it's not a Russia stan either, okay? We can agree that there's not an absolute on either of these things, right? Okay. Good. Glad we had that conversation. But Putin's a piece of, I'm sorry. We're not having this conversation, okay? All right, let's go back to the Senate races, shall we? Okay, so Cortez Masto, the first Latina senator and climate progressive, I already read this. Okay. Axelt, the former Nevada attorney general and a staunch ally of former President Donald Trump, who has championed Trump's election fraud lies, blames Cortez Masto for higher gasoline prices and says Democrat climate policies are depriving the nation of energy independence. Again, exact same line that every conservative says, and meanwhile they have actually no policy ideas for how to functionally lower gas prices because they don't understand the problem. According to an average of 13 polls monitored by 538, the website that analyzes politics, Cortez Masto led by 0.4 points as of October 31st. Real Clear Politics shows a lead for Laxalt of 1 point as of October 31st. Their poll averages showed that Cortez Masto was leading until September 14th. What happened then? Was there a debate or something? Let me know if you guys know what happened around that time to make that change. The Nevada seat is among a handful of closely contested Senate races that could determine control of the upper chamber, in which party currently holds 50 seats, and Democrats control the virtue of the Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Cortez Masto is considered by many analysts to be the most vulnerable Democrat incumbent, which is sad because she's a climate progressive. On Laxalt's campaign website, there's an image of Cortez Masto taking a selfie superimposed over. If you are going to superimpose your political opponent over anything, that's just petty. That's just petty and stupid. I will say that for regardless of who's doing that. Just stop. Superimposed over pictures of a gas station prices across Nevada. Try coming to California. He blames the state's high gasoline prices on what he sees as an inefficiency of Democratic policies that prioritize renewable energy, which is not true. But again, this is actually where I started reading the other article because there is a truth to it, which is that fossil fuel companies initially started lowering how much they were taking out because they were being told by everybody that we were moving towards clean energy, but then we weren't moving towards clean energy fast enough. So now they are, and they also found out that this is just a good thing to do financially. So now we have an even more morally corrupt industry on top of not doing what we said we were going to do with the clean energy transition. It's a beautiful combination when you think about it. Did someone... I mean... You know, the whole banning thing, I'm still finding where my level is with things on why I choose to ban who I ban. But I'm glad you guys are having a good conversation. Russia's not acting in self-defense when it's not even acting in the benefit of its own citizens. And I'm also not being a U.S. imperialism stan, so you are misinformed, and it's okay. If you like being the enemy in the chat, go for it. I don't care. Gives me more engagement. I don't even know how the algorithm works to know if the engagement's useful. I have no idea. Did Levelhead tell you that he's dating Lauren Bulmer in order to obtain journalistic leads? Oh, that's beautiful. Really, does your wife know? Don't you have a child? Oh, man. I mean, Bobert's hot, so there's at least that. It's an NSMBC military industrial complex bot. Okay. Well, back there was... Well, back if there was ever something to start with. I'm having fish tacos for dinner. That's good. Oh, I'm hungry now. I put up for M's bullshit for longer than most, but he's butthurt. It's okay. You have all the right. M, behave yourself. Russia's... Well, you know M doesn't want to actually listen to, like, history. It's fine. Found some really good tortillas. Nice. I think Why So Dankness is my favorite responder. Your wife's in on it. Perfect. If Russia left Ukraine, the war would stop. So aggressor is clear. Yeah, like literally I'm sorry, out of all the issues, this one's pretty fucking cut and dry. Like, even if you are being oppressed or surrounded or whatever, your response is not to act out, be anti-Semitic, and kill people. Like, you know there's other ways to handle situations, right? Like, they're handling it like a child at best. So at best, Russia's is a child, and at worst, they are actually terrible. So, you know, you can pick between the two, I guess. I don't think anyone is accidentally doing anything because, quite frankly, that isn't a war. Ah, this is so entertaining. I don't even need to say anything anymore. I just watch the chat. Okay, guys. Okay. Uh-oh. We got the mod in the chat. And be scared. Be very afraid. Guys. Okay. M, you're allowed to have views, but if you continue to go on this rampage and distract the chat from what we're talking about, then you will get banned. Okay? So that Carlos is my statement. You have now to change the subject. We're going to go back to what we're talking about here. Okay, chat? We're going to go back to what we were talking about here. Let's move on. You're allowed to have your own opinions, even if they're wrong, but you have to move on because that's not what we're talking about in the chat. If he doesn't know how to stop, then he's going to get banned. Carlos, you heard that firsthand. That is my statement. You are allowed to have your own views, but when you are taking over the chat for your own purposes and instigating for no fucking reason, then you're kind of like Russia, honestly. We're going on topic, okay? All right. Here we go. So we're talking about the campaign. We're talking about how people don't understand what is behind gas prices. And yeah. So basically, while Laxalt typically says little about his stances on environmental issues and doesn't mention anything about them on his campaign website, which I noticed, he attacked Cortez Masto's green agenda in an interview. Oh, interview, good. He said that solar and wind is simply not enough and it will never get the job done, which is not true, as proven by even BP's climate perspective. That's a fun fact. BP even has a roadmap to net zero. And so even they think it's possible. Well, he shut the hell up, so I guess, you know. You are not on topic, Em. Don't give me that. Okay. You know what you did. Exactly. Thank you, Globus. Okay. So As of 2021, 1/3 of energy produced within Nevada comes from renewable sources, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. That's even funnier, honestly. The state has already set a goal of increasing its percentage to 50% by 2030 through renewable portfolio standards. Also, I will get off track because I just remembered that someone was talking about, is there a heat map where you can see where solar is best? And there is. There is that. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. There's like a organization that laid out how every single state can get to clean energy. I did a video on them a while ago. And now I can't remember the name of it. You know, maybe what I'll do is I'll just put it in the Discord. How about that? I'll put it in the Discord. Carlos, I got a Discord. I didn't moderate it or anything, so I'm kind of scared because I literally just did it on chat. But yeah, so I will post it on the Discord to when I find the link to that. But there actually is a website that shows how every single state can reach net zero. Ooh, you've been timed out. That's a good amount of seconds, too. Thank you for the subscription. Yay! You are my second subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Levelhead. I appreciate you. You know, it really is, you needed to give me something for bringing M to my chat. Yes, Founder's Badge. Oh my goodness. There's been so much. What has happened? Okay. Oh man. Okay, I'm up to date. Mango salsa paired with fish tacos. Now I really want that. You know, maybe I'm just going to get fish tacos after this. There's this one place that has, like, they mostly just sell beer, but they have, like, a taco truck on the side. And, you know, I live in Monterey, California, so you know I got fresh fish here. It's so good. It's so good, and it's sustainable. Yeah. Yeah, if any of you haven't visited Monterey, California, it's fucking beautiful and I highly recommend. But of course you have to go to the aquarium because it's like my third home. I love the aquarium. So Biden's energy policies. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So bottom line, I think we have a pretty clear idea on who, if you are a climate voter in Nevada in this district, who you should vote for, which is definitely Cortez Masto. We got that. Okay. Let's move on to the next race. I've been talking about this one for far too long. Oh my gosh, it's almost 12 already? How did that happen? No! Okay, go back. Sorry, I just exited out of the link I wanted to go to. Are the put away? What? I don't know what that means. If I brought them, that means that they were watching my not very interesting stream while being banned. Oh, man, the amount of people, is this a thing? Okay, because I have banned so many, well, not super many people, but like the people that I have banned, they have either followed me right before or right after I banned them. And I don't understand why. I'm really confused about that. But that has happened multiple times. I don't know why. Not banned in yours, but they rarely come in. I mean, honestly, I feel like for people like M, bullying works just fine. Or just ignoring them. Maybe ignoring them works the best. Is that a thing? A classic post-ban follow? Why is that a thing? Huh. Yeah, Georgia. Okay, so I already talked about this, but yeah, no, Walker. I'm sure this will be a hot take, right? But Walker's a fucking idiot. He thinks that we watched the video last Friday where he was talking about, almost incoherently, that China is bringing bad air to Georgia and Georgia's clean air is going to China. He also didn't provide any solution for that, too. Like, what are you going to do? Like, put your hand to China? Like, what is your plan for that? So that was that. Meanwhile, Warnock believes that it is our biblical responsibility to tackle climate change, and he is very, very supportive of it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I got another sub. Hype train is closed. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Globus. I greatly appreciate you. And thank you also. Oh, there's M with the follow. Ah, that's so funny. And thank you again, Alistair, for the biddies. This is a good stream. Woo! Yes, Herschel is quite dumb. He might have been hit in the head a little too many times. Just saying. So I did talk about that already. But Warnock is very pro climate policies. He actually talks about it on his website. Very good. Very good. But I will actually say that that Fetterman might have had a better climate video, but he said he supports fracking, so that's not great. He's weird because he like supports fracking, but he also recognizes that he's near fracking development, so he should understand the health implications of fracking. But also I understand, what is a hype train? I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what it does. Yeah, so both of them support fracking. Both of them have actually done a 180 on their views on fracking because both of them used to not support fracking, and now they both support fracking. I would say that Dr. Oz's turnaround is actually more stark than Fetterman's because Dr. Oz actually wrote a whole op-ed and stuff on how climate change impacts human health along with a local clinic. And he also talked about how fracking should be banned until more studies are done on the health implications. And that was back in 2017. And now he argues that there is no scientific consensus on climate change. So I would say that's a bigger turnaround. US will need to recount the money means the chat earned a special emotes by giving you money. Oh, but I'm sorry, I don't have any special... I need to do the emote stuff. I'm really sorry about that. If you had a bunch of hype and put them in a row. Thank you also for subscribing to Prime very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. Thank you, A Difficult Truth. I will have emotes. Oh, the emotes are from Twitch. Okay, good. Whew. But that being said, I do need to get my emote shit together. I recognize this. Hype train emotes. Nice. And it helps Twitch make money. Okay. Cool. Thank you for telling me because I have no idea. Hype train is close though. So we got 2 more minutes for the hype train. Whoa, those are some fun emotes. Those are so cute. They kind of look like some of the Pokemon on my... By the way, A Difficult Truth gave me this mic, so that's another reason why they're a gem. Okay, so yes, so bottom line is Fetterman at least supports like climate justice and climate action, and he only really supports fracking until fracking is no longer as popular as it is in the U.S. or in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is second. Woo! Thank you. I'm doing a dance for it. Hype train. This is so cool. Congrats, Why So Dankness, for the gifted sub. Very nice. Thank you, Levelhead, for providing the first gifted sub of my channel. We're making history here, folks. This is awesome. Yay! And then bringing in the 100 biddies. Thank you so much, Globus. Wow. Thank you so much. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to make Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those things. I'm trying to make it a full-time job. So these mean a lot to me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I've moved back in with my folks to be able to try to do this as a thing because I think it's so important to cover climate change full time. And it's really hard to find climate reporting jobs. So I appreciate you, and I'm excited to continue to do this work as the Beckosphere. So thank you. I don't know why you don't have a founder's badge. Maybe it's because it was gifted. Oh no, Why So Dankness was gifted. I don't know. Maybe there's only 2. Full-time arc. Yeah. Exactly. Can you go to level 6 or level 8? Is there more? I have no idea. I feel blessed to be the first giftee. That's why I like to give a shout out to Levelhead and Fresh Pretzels. There's supposed to be 10? Really? Wow. Maybe. Yeah. Dude, collab stream. All 3. Levelhead and me and A Difficult Truth. That'd be fun. We could like shit talk people with stupid climate views. We could watch PragerU videos. Oh dear. So yeah. So bottom line, Oz is a complete fraud. If you didn't already know, in his climate policies in particular, he's a complete fraud. Whereas meanwhile, Fetterman has this whole thing on climate justice in particular and focusing on environmental justice, which is cool that he has prioritized specializing in environmental justice as a solution. So definitely Fetterman gets the Beckosphere climate vote for sure. So Fetterman and Warnock and why is there no picture for Masto? That's weird. They missed a picture, but Masto is definitely my choice for that. And now we move on to Mark Kelly versus Blake Masters. So let's start with Mark Kelly. I feel like I hear about Mark Kelly a lot. Okay. So Mark Kelly for Senate. Not to be confused with Senator Mark Kelly. He was a U.S. Navy captain. Interesting. All right. So let's see if he has an issues page. It amazes me. I did this whole thing, by the way, for house races too, which you can also see on the second channel, Beckosphere Streams. And also I want to share that, of course, all this money that you are giving me right now will go to the purchase of a PC so that we can better this experience. Thank you very much, Alistair, for the additional biddies. You are coming up clean with so many biddies, and I appreciate you. I'm hoping you support Extinction Rebellion to reduce the damage to ocean and natural environment. Of course. Of course. Someone told me one time in the comment section that I have Extinction Rebellion bangs, or they said fringe because they were probably from the UK. So I have to. I have to support them because apparently all Extinction Rebellion girls have the same fringe. Did you not know? That was my favorite hate comment. Blake is my favorite candidate to make fun of right now. He plays with Star Wars toys and makes mouth noises in one of his commercials while running against real life astronaut. That's who Mark Kelly is. Wait a second. I've met him. He came to my school and talked about being an astronaut. I've met him. I've met at least 3 astronauts. That's why I recognize him. That's so funny. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. Huh. Thank you, by the way, again, for getting us to level 2 hype train. It is ending in 7 seconds. So. Woo! Okay, so let's see if there's an issues page. That's so cool. He's running for... Wow. I didn't even know he was in Senate. That's so funny. I was like, why is this so familiar sounding? Woo! Nice. Emotes are being delivered. Yes, there we go. He's Gifford's husband. Who's Gifford? Thank you for the 5 more biddies. I appreciate you. Okay, so where is Action Hub? Maybe that's his issues page. That's kind of a weird name for issues page. See, is he going to disappoint me with no issues pages? Because that's like a necessity. Is you got to have an issues page. My dude, I don't think he has an issues page. The mission, maybe? Okay, so this is his... Okay, so I think this is it. Mark has called on the Biden administration to take action to lower costs. He plans to lower prescription drugs. Was recently signed into law. He also introduced legislation to temporarily suspend the federal gas tax, supporting increasing domestic oil production. Mark. And push corporations to stop price gouging. Yes, hype complete. Yes. Kelly's wife is Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Oh. Wow. I had no idea. That's sad. That's so sad. What the heck? Oh. Poor guy. Okay, well, here's him out with the solar panels. Marcus helped cut taxes for families, all while making sure corporations pay their fair share. He delivered direct support to Arizona families and small businesses as well. Since taking office, he also returned over $17 million in owed benefits back to constituents to help, and has helped use his office to support local businesses. Why is there a solar panel here? This is greenwashing. He better talk about something else that has to do with solar, because otherwise this is frankly greenwashing. I'm not impressed at the moment, to be perfectly honest. I expected more from a person who has seen the earth from outside. But then again, Jeff Bezos has too, and that didn't change anything, so. Through the bipartisan infrastructure law and his microchip manufacturing law, Mark is bringing in thousands of good-paying jobs to the state of Arizona. It is good, of course, that he supported that, so that's always good. Many of which don't require a 4-year degree. Yes, a lot of it is nice and blue-collar. But supporting community colleges and technical schools around the state, he is making sure Arizonans have the tools they need to fill jobs. Cool. Also doesn't talk about climate change much, but it kind of does with the Inflation Reduction Act and the CHIPS Act, so that's good. Okay, let's see. Mark has played a key role in shaping the bipartisan infrastructure law that will fix our roads and bridges, increase high-speed internet. That is something that is bipartisanly supported easily, is high-speed internet. Everyone talks about broadband. It's funny. It's good because obviously it's basically like it's a natural necessity, but it's just funny. He also negotiated the bipartisan CHIPS law that will invest in microchip manufacturing here in Arizona, ease supply chain demands, creating jobs, and supporting our national security. That's always good. You know, one way that would help increase national security, according to the Navy, doing something about climate change. Yeah, they've said it. I know. I used to work for the Navy. They said that, so... Mark passed a law to ban surprise medical billing. He also passed major prescriptions. Good for you. Okay. Security. Yeah. Doesn't give a dime to corporate PAC money. That's good, I guess. My hometown country has some of the best internet in the country. Interesting. Redundant gigabit fiber. Is that why your streams are so good? Because yeah, you know, it's like living in the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area, so like obviously our internet's pretty damn good, because that would kind of shut down our whole economy if the internet wasn't good over there. I don't live in that county. Oh. Oh, your hometown county. Ah, I got it. Okay. Well, does your Wi-Fi suck in that county then? In your current county? Maybe you're just born with it because it's your hometown. Okay, maybe you're just born with good Wi-Fi. Wouldn't that be funny? Based on where you're born, depends on whether or not your Wi-Fi is good for the rest of your life. That'd be weird. I used to stream break all the time from my internet, so I had to upgrade. I have Comcast. Nice. I'm surprised that my dad. I live with my parents now, so my dad's internet's like way better than mine at my apartment. Even though I had AT&T fiber fucking sucked. Even though they say that they're supposed to be good for it. Your streams have been solid lately. Yeah, no, his streams are solid. I agree. Okay. Anything else? All right, so we have established that picture of him with a solar panel was greenwashing because he does not mention anything about climate change. Oh, there it is! Finally, and he's on a horse. There we go. From the International Space Station, Mark has seen the impacts of climate change on our planet. I was waiting for this exact statement. There it is. Yeah, I saw you messing with OBS. See, that's another thing that I'm probably doing wrong is I'm using Streamlabs instead of OBS, but I heard Streamlabs does better on PC, so I'm waiting for that. Because right now, I can't even connect my audio for videos to for you guys to be able to hear it, which is why I use my mic pressed up against my laptop to play videos. He knows we have to use the science data and facts to fight climate change and its impact on Arizona, including droughts, heat, and wildfires. Okay, so why do you support more drilling then? That's a little confusing. He passed legislation to boost renewable energy, which will protect the climate and create more great paying jobs in Arizona. That's good. This is where the solar panel picture should have been. I'm just saying. It's a little contradictory. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at his voting record. This will be the determining factor. Mark Kelly, League of Conservation Voters scorecard. You can already kind of see it, but anyone want to guess? 97%. That's pretty damn good. I will say. Yeah, I'm on a Mac. You know what's funny is that, so when I went to school, I double majored in environmental science and journalism, and everybody that was in the environmental science field had PCs, and everybody that was in the journalism field had Macs, and so I kind of went on the journalism side with the Macs because I thought for some reason that the Adobe Suite stuff would work better on a Mac, and now I don't even think it really makes a difference, but... You have to install a back loop. Yeah, I heard about that, but I don't understand how to do that, and I thought I did a tutorial thing, but it didn't work. You actually made a tutorial about this for class. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would like to know how to do that because that would be really helpful. But also, I don't even think I don't know how well my video has been doing this whole time, but I've heard that my video quality sucks. So I kind of feel like this Mac is just really not powerful enough to do everything I want to do. So it might just be better to get a PC. Yeah, exactly. They're great for portability in particular. I like that. And they're just easy. They're easy to use. They're very user-friendly, except when you want to use the video, audio in your streams. Okay, so he did not support promoting polluting energy sources. Wait, what is that? That doesn't sound good anyways. Promoting polluting energy sources, which encourages the deployment and use of coal and methane power plants with carbon capture and storage technology and nuclear power plants. This amendment would protect these polluting industries from further oversight and inspired by repeated failed attempts to further subsidize coal plants to keep them running under false pretenses that coal retirement threatens grid reliability. No, it's a pro-environment vote. Oh, so did he vote? So he voted yes on this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Huh. Well, that's not good. He shouldn't have done that. But other than that, he's good. What's Blake's score? It only shows scores based on whether or not they have been in Congress before. So if he hasn't been in Congress before, then there's not going to be a score for him. So has he been in Congress before? I haven't learned yet. Masters. It doesn't look like he's been in leadership before. Mono, no. Shut up, you. Yeah, you better watch your mouth, okay? Carlos is now a mod. Like, Mono, be scared, be afraid, be very afraid. Don't make him cry. He will ban you. Just time him out for 1 second, Carlos, just to spite him. It doesn't scare me. He's harmless. Oh, those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. I can't control them. I've tried. No. No, but you could probably figure out from the Teal Capital investment portfolio. I don't know what that means. You have to tell me what that means. I'm not really that smart, you know. Okay. Let's look though at his page, okay? So let's look at Blake Masters' page for Senate. Rotten to the core, stonky fella. Oh, goodness. Okay, so wait. Okay, so he's a venture capitalist, political candidate, and author. Oh, guys, I had the funniest person that was like running for my district's student like board. Oh my gosh. His stuff was gold. He was this random like author that was running to be like a board member for the school district, even though like every other person at least had like experience with the school district. He was just some author, and he's like, I want to make sure your kids are not brainwashed by that woke CRT agenda. And this is in like Monterey. Very blue. Like, it was just so weird. I was like, okay, my guy. He was straight on that delicious conspiracy juice. It was wonderful. It was so funny to actually see that in like my ballot candidates, because I don't usually see those crackheads there. Oh man, it was funny. And of course he's a fucking author. So like, he's an author too. 0 to 1. What does that mean? He goes to Stanford. Okay. Sorry, I'm judging him. I haven't even seen his climate policies yet. This will be the true judgment. Wait. What did I just see? Hold on. Back up. I saw a news thing. Arizona Libertarian Senate candidate dropping out of the race, endorsing Masters. Oh, okay. Of course, a Libertarian is endorsing a right-wing candidate. Let's be real. All right. Like CRT Smash Bros. Isn't the same on monitors that aren't cathode ray tube. Wow, those are statements. That was okay. Trump endorsed. I like how that's on there like a cereal box. Okay, but does he have issues? I see no issues page. Maybe it's on about. Oh, kids here with the gas pumps. Okay, well that's an indicator if anything. I'm sorry, but being on the #1 New York Times bestseller list does not mean shit. It just meant that you have enough money to convince people to pre-order your book so you get on that list. Libertarians is infested with Mrs. Stens. Yes. Guns, babies, Jesus, money, let's go. Anti-state, but culturally the same as fascists. Pretty much. Yep, it's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so you joined President Trump's team in 2016. Immediately tried to get that agenda going. All right, so I can give an indication on how you're feeling about climate change then, considering he couldn't even write where the hurricane was going correctly with a Sharpie. So, You know, that's a good sign that that is your leader. But also, you have no issues page. Why do they do this? They're like, huh, you don't need to know these things. Oh, this is also a very funny thing too, is that, you know, Gavin Newsom's technically up for governor again for the California election, but because we just had the runoff, like it's not that big of a deal like it was for the runoff. So like obviously he's going to get elected again, like whatever. But he was so bold about it that he didn't even put a statement in like the pamphlet where people have a chance to like, you know, try to hype themselves up. His just said nothing given. I was like, that's a fucking power move. Oh, it's pretty funny. Being on Trump's team. Yeah, literally, like being on Trump's team is climate change denial. Like you're going to say energy independence, promoting fossil fuel production, and that's it. That's your whole spiel. But let's go ahead and see if we type in Blake Masters climate change. Let's see what comes up. Oh, this is good. Okay. Well, it's not a scorecard, but we have from the League of Conservative Voters their take on Blake Masters as a radical candidate who does not stand up to... I guess we'll find out in a sec. It's loading. He continues to question climate science and has repeatedly pushed the big lie that the election was stolen. Cool. Good talk. Okay. He has repeatedly questioned the science of climate change in interviews, claiming we have to figure out if the Earth is warming and why, as if we're back in the 80s. Okay. Blake Masters was Peter Thiel's deputy on the Trump transition team when they attempted to appoint William Happer, a known climate change denier, to be Trump's science advisor. He has continuously repeated the big lie, pushing the false claim that President Trump has won the 2020 election. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with climate change. I mean, it does, but you know. Okay. Cool. I want a different article. Oh, here's something. Wait. Is this... I don't know. It has Arabic. I'm confused. I don't know if that's a good website, but if it is, then we traded energy independence for climate change activism is quite a take. Wait. Okay. Senate races. Yep, Georgia, Colorado. This might have just been a good article. Just read. Oh yeah, didn't this guy run for president at one point, Mike Bennett? Yeah, we have to figure it out if it's warming. I'm not sure. I haven't done any of the readings. Oh, I'm sure he's pro-life. Actually, I think he did say pro-life in his little spiel on his website. Nevada, we already talked about. Arizona, there it is. Okay. Wow. Kelly said he could see deforestation from wildfires from space. Jeez. Masters, like any other Republican, has tried to tie Kelly with high energy prices and high energy costs and was critical of the Inflation Reduction Act. The Arizonans I speak with, they're furious. They're angry that Senator Mark Kelly is for supporting this. Mark Kelly doesn't want to hire any more border patrol. Okay. And he's been highly critical of Democrat environmental policies. But that's it. There's really not much to be said on this guy, besides the fact that he's just a basic bitch. Like, that's basically what it is. He's just a basic bitch. Cool. Good. He looks like one, too. Oh, really? I'll get some results with that. All right. Let's do it. Herman Goring. Am I registered to that, or am I interested in that link? I've seen that link before. I've seen their report on it. Thank you though. Ad hominem attack. You lost in the marketplace of ideas. Oh no. see. So he quotes. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know. I forgot. I should know, but I forgot who Hermann Goring was. But, that's just wonderful. In his college days, he was just corrupt from the get-go, wasn't he? I'm sorry. Come again? He expressed admiration for the Unabomber's anti-tech manifesto. Fun fact, Unabomber also eco-fascist. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You type fine. I see no problem in typage. I understood. Okay. Like Masters, leading candidate in Arizona Republican Senate primary, has gained national prominence thanks in part to a series of defiantly controversial online ads in which he has brandished the menacing short-barreled rifle, argued that psychopaths are running the country, and no, they used to. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to use the word psychopath. That's not a good term when there are people that are actual psychopaths that have not done shitty shit. And push the false election narrative that former President Donald Trump won in 2020. The self-proclaimed anti-progressive seems to revel in such starkly worded provocations. Since launching his campaign last July, he has also described Lee Kuan Yew, the founder of modern Singapore, who was seen as an authoritarian, if visionary leader, as one of his favorite historical figures, and more recently expressed admiration for the Unabomber's anti-tech manifesto. Yeah, that's a way to go. Even as his actual positions remain somewhat hard to decipher, Masters, a 35-year-old venture capitalist and Peter Thiel prodigy, has quickly stacked the acclaim as one of the most high-profile figures in a nascent but growing coalition of populist right-wing ideologues affiliated with the so-called National Conservative Movement. In fact, tedious essays written by the Masters was a 19-year-old undergrad at Stanford University might provide insight into his thinking, as well as a possible through line from his college years today. Here's the crux. In 2006, Master penned an article from an obscure libertarian publication in which he referred to a poignant quotation from Nazi leader Hermann Goring, while citing a noted conspiracy theorist who has suggested that an infamous anti-Semitic tract accurately describes much of what is happening in our world. Blech. Blech. I'm going to throw up. I can't read any more of this. I'm going to throw up. Blech. Ugh. Why are people voting for? Why is this a close race? Why? Counterpoint you my ass. What is happening? What did I just see? Oh my goodness, someone just happened. Was potentially closeted trans. What? Wrong. Her argument isn't predicated on the insult, basic bitch. It was that there's no substance. Nice try. Ha! Thank you. Oh, Unabomber from Mitt in Massachusetts. Apologies again. Oh no. I'm dead. Now mono. Eat my ass is not a good counterpoint. I'm sorry. You are failing in the debate of ideas. He also technically BM's fascist in his writing. Oh, good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's an idiot. Just goes back to the fact that he's just a fucking idiot. That proves that you can go to Stanford and still be a fucking idiot. Like, literally. He's a cipher, like, not speeches, ecofascism, guns. Yeah. No, we got to do an article on ecofascism or a video on ecofascism. Seriously. For realsies. Because, unfortunately, like, So yeah, here's the thing again about the whole ecofascism thing. I just thank you, Carlos, for keeping him in his place. You tried and failed, kids. But again, the thing with ecofascism is that it's frustrating because on one end we want both parties to not be arguing about whether or not climate change exists, but what the solutions are. But then that can lead into ecofascism being one of the potential pathways that it goes, which is, not good. So like, it's kind of like, do you want Republicans to sign on to climate change being a problem and potentially have to risk ecofascism? Or would you rather them just stay stupid? I don't know. I don't actually know which would be better at this point because ecofascism to me is that scary. They are. They're so stupid. Literally. So it's like, I don't know. Do you really want them to take away the climate votes with a stupid take? But at the same time, like, environmentalists suck at voting anyways. So I don't know. Also, why is this picture in front of a meat market? Like, why is that the first picture? Big ag is also very responsible for climate change too. I'm just saying, Mark. Meh, overpopulation, homie, doesn't matter if the population reduces when consumption and emissions are focused particularly on regions, and you're not suggesting reducing population in those regions. Exactly. See, that's the kicker. If you haven't seen, by the way, I did a whole video talking about the conversation of population. So definitely check that out. It's on my channel. It's one of my most watched videos because I mentioned Elon Musk and Reddit went like crazy. Forms of government are rarely chosen because they work and are often chosen because people think that they will solve their perceived problems. Yeah. And that's how fascism takes over, when people are very uncomfortable and they want an easy solution, it's really easy to just lead towards fascism. He doesn't want to ban hamburgers, like... That's why this picture says... Oh, I hate that argument so much. Fun fact, if you are eating more than 2 burgers a week, then just cutting it down to 2 burgers a week, like that's literally how bad Americans are. If we just cut it down to just 2 burgers a week, that would help. That's how bad it is. Okay, all right, let's see here. So, I'll ban all hamburgers. There you go, Carlos. I vote Carlos in for president. Okay, so we finally got through the main ones that I wanted to get through for the races. I think there are some notable mentions that are here. Yeah, it's weird. They say 4 races, but then they have more. So I'm confused. So let me know, chatters. I'm down to go for another half hour if you're willing. But let me know if you want to continue with the race stuff. Like, not race. That sounds like ethnic race. I mean, like, midterm race stuff. Or do you want to go into talking more about the millions of links that were coming in my direction, which has to do with more clean energy / fossil fuels? Which one are you more interested in? Kids. Take a break from arguing and answer my question. Do you want to talk more about midterm race stuff, or do you want to talk about energy? Links. All right, level headsets links. All right, Carlos's links. All right, we're gonna do links. Bye. Okay. Let's go with this one. So, electricity prices dictated by gas producers who provide less than half of UK electricity. Let's start there. I'm trying to find links, but it's difficult. It's okay. We got some links to work with already. Don't hurt yourself. I don't believe that the future situation could involve ecofascism, but I do believe that it could involve eco-authoritarianism. Okay, so you see a distinction. I need to do more research because I'm not really seeing a distinction between those two as much. So let me know what the distinction is, or we'll talk about that on another day. Maybe let's make next Friday be a chat on eco-authoritarianism versus eco-fascism and that conversation. I'm declaring that now. Okay, next Friday's talk is on eco-fascism or eco-authoritarianism. Okay. So something to look forward to for next Friday. And if y'all are new, just to, again, let you know, I also stream on, and thank you also again for the more biddies. I didn't even notice that like half hour ago, Alistair. If you are interested in climate news content, I cover those on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Fridays, we do deep dives into different topics. And so that's what we're going to talk about next week is we're going to talk about eco-authoritarianism / eco-fascism. They made a poop statue of Ron Johnson that really sums up the state of politics. Oh, no. Is that real? I want that link. Okay. What is this link? Indigenous people in Peruvian Amazon detain tourists in oil spill protest. Oh, is that new? Wow. When was this? Wow. Okay. I'm doing, by the way, after this stream is done, I'm going to start working on a climate recap because I've only done one this week, which is bad. I decided, by the way, first of all, I decided that I'm not formally announcing it, but I am going to just try to do 2 to 3 recaps a week, and I'm not going to specify what days I'm uploading them on because it's too much stress for me to try to maintain a strict schedule with that. And I think I'm more likely to produce more videos when I don't have as strained of a schedule. So we're doing 2 to 3 a week. I've only done one this week, which is not ideal for me, but it's because I was working on that other video. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another one today so that we can have 2 for this week, okay? Oh, it's true? The poop statue's true? The statue is relevant to Ron's climate change views. Oh my goodness. See, I think that's what Just Stop Oil needs to do. They need to move away from paintings and more into poop jokes. I think they would get a lot more people. Okay. I'm just pulling up my Google Doc for my climate recap so that I can place the Indigenous one in there. And if y'all send me any other news related stuff, I'll put it in there. But so that way we're not going to distract ourselves with too many news things at the moment because we're not covering news at the moment. Sort of. Unless this poop thing is recent, in which case we're covering news. Because this is important. Here's my links that I got up going so far. You guys are getting a sneak peek of what I'm going to be covering in the next climate recap episode. Let's see. Load, damn it, you can do it. There we go. Cool. Thank you for sending me that. Okay, now I'm going to reduce how many links are up. Send that one over there. All right, let's go back to this. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to go to the poop thing. Sorry, priorities. Next gen pack. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's really well sculpted. It is climate change related. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that's going in the climate recap too then. That's so good. Yeah, that's going in the victory section. Oh, people are great. People are great. For those of you who don't think that climate change activists are funny, like, they're fucking funny. Oh, man. Statue. Oh, that's so good. Oh, man, the statue. Okay. Okay, so the statue made... Sorry, I'll pull myself together. The statue made its debut in Milwaukee on September 29th, and groups are aiming to inspire voters for the upcoming midterms. People in Wisconsin deserve a senator who believes in climate change and won't take money from fossil fuel industries to get richer himself. This is why we joined at Move On in Milwaukee today to call out Ron Johnson's bullshit. Literally. I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, this isn't the most recent thing, so actually I don't know if I'm going to cover it in the next recap, but thank you for sharing it with me because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, it is. It is the highest forms of comedy. You know, I think we need to create a new climate activism group called, I don't know, think of a creative name that has to do with poop, but like that should be what they do. They just literally like legit shit on people. I don't want actually them to actually like shit on things. I want them to make more sculptures out of poop. That's what I want. It's a human poop? What kind of poop is it? It doesn't say. This is a poor article. Made with poop. What kind of poop? Hold on. This is important. Oh, it's cow poop. Okay. Okay. You know, I prefer that over human poop, if I'm honest. Cow poop, I could see people molding into a statue. And you know what? It's kind of a double meaning when you think about it because, like, agriculture represents a large amount of emissions, particularly cattle ranching. So by making it cow poop, then that actually has even more to do with climate change. Just saying. Oh, this makes me so happy. Again, statue is just so good. Thank you for showing me that. That made my day. I appreciate you. All right, I'm going to keep that link for myself for later. Actually, I saved it in there, so I guess I can get rid of it. Okay. All right, and then we already talked about that, so I can get rid of that. Look at us making progress. I think also on Tuesday, I'm going to prioritize talking about COP stuff because COP starts on Sunday. So on Tuesday, we're gonna talk about we're gonna do a kind of a recap of some of the COP stuff happening. But actually, I am also planning on making a video on COP stuff like as soon as I can get it out. I want to make a video on COP stuff. Climate Atom just made a video on it, so check their video out if you haven't, because they're a climate scientist in the UK, and so they've talked about their perspective on COP this year versus previous COPs. But there's just been so much shit happening this year around like everything that Egypt is doing with arresting activists and canceling like tabling events and having Coca-Cola sponsor it and having one of the main fossil fuel PR firms be the communications department for it, and the Australian Prime Minister choosing not to attend, and the UK Prime Minister probably not attending, but Boris Johnson is suddenly looking good because he is attending, and just, oh my gosh, there's so much. And meanwhile, there's like not even a chance that anything's going to happen because Germany's environmental minister already said that there might not even be a draft document out of this meeting. So it's all bullshit. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're going to talk about new solar technology. Actually, sorry, we didn't finish the electricity prices. Let's do this. My brain is going all over the place. Too many links. That's why I'm overwhelmed. Okay. Electricity prices dictated by gas producers who provide less than half of the UK's electricity. We've tried to start this article like 5 times. Natural gas is the main driver of electricity prices across Europe, confirms research published by UCL. When was this published? Oh, September. Damn, I wish I caught this before. Despite gas providing under half of the total electricity in the UK, in recent years, it's said electricity costs 84% of the time. That's ridiculous. So the follow-up to this article is that it's got a lot of development funding from feds. Damn it. Sorry. It's got a lot of development from feds. Follow up to this is that it got a lot of development funding from the feds. Wait, why did you say that like 3 times? It's an interesting example of how someone successfully pitching renewable energy to a bunch of oil and gas heads. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, we're going to check it out. We're definitely going to check it out. I'm going to read this real fast and then we're going to move on to that one, okay? ACAB, like how most of the fleet runtime in law enforcement vehicles is idle time. Yeah, truth. My chat is all Pepega. What is Pepega? I don't know what that is. As a result, revenues from large electricity generators operating directly in the British wholesale market have increased from nearly 15 billion pounds, pounds. I should know better by now. That's how you know my brain is short-circuiting. 15 million pounds in 2019 to roughly double in 2021 and likely to over 50 billion pounds in 2022. You're good. I use my actual dyslexia problem as an excuse all the time. In 2 papers being published today, researchers outline reasons why, despite the advances of relatively cheap renewable energy, electricity prices have rapidly risen across Europe alongside an increased cost of natural gas. It sucks because they're going to blame clean energy for that rise of prices, even though it's gas. I hate it. I hate everything. That's so fucking frustrating. They identify the structure of the wholesale electricity market as the main driver of excess prices and are developing solutions to change this. That's good. Professor Michael Grubb, UCL's Institute for Sustainable Resources, who is leading the research, said, quote, fossil fuels used to be cheaper than renewable energy sources, but that has turned on its head as gas prices shot up and the cost of producing renewables such as wind and solar has plummeted. Yes. Half of our electricity already comes from non-fossil fuels, and that figure is growing. If we actually paid the average price of what our electricity now costs to produce, our bills would be significantly cheaper. Exactly. And meanwhile, again, they're trying to put a cap on clean energy prices when clean energy prices are already so much cheaper than gas. I just don't understand why they're bothering with that. I think it's fully for the perception that people think that these price raises are due to an influx of clean energy on the grid, which is not even true. So they're like trying to solve a problem that's not even a problem. It means his chat is intimately familiarized with the taste of Windows. What? Okay. I'm going to put that in the Urban Dictionary. Pepega, intimately familiarized with the taste of Windows. Oh, man. The ongoing energy crisis pushed retail prices up by 80% this year and quadrupled wholesale prices, fueling the cost of living crisis and inflation. Yet the UK already generates half of its electricity from non-fossil fuel sources, with 25% of wind and solar power, whose costs have fallen hugely to around a quarter of the costs now seen in the wholesale electricity market. But the structure of the UK power market means that these falling costs are not reflected in bills. In their reports, the researchers explained how, as the most expensive generator needed to meet the last bit of demand, gas sets the price for all types of electricity generating technologies. This happens even when the bulk electricity is generated by cheaper renewable sources. That sucks. That sucks. Professor Grubb explained, quote, while renewables are providing more and more electricity, we still need natural gas to meet the demand. The most expensive natural gas producers are still needed to cope with fluctuations in renewable energy production, so they are setting what is called a marginal cost at the edge of what is needed. Because natural gas generation is expensive, those producers charge the highest prices, which means that other producers are able to charge a similar price. Interesting. This actually is answering a question that's been in the back of my noggin, but I didn't really think to ask it, which is, yeah, the price of UK, despite there being an influx of clean energy. So that's really interesting. I think that's all I'm going to read for now on it. But if you want to read more on this topic, especially if you're like, in the UK and this is like very relevant to you, and then I'll give you the link back for that one. But yeah, that's really interesting because what I'm hearing from that, honestly, is that if they were to increase electrifying homes, increase energy efficiency in homes, and then also push for more battery storage expansion, then that would knock out the need for gas, which then would reduce their ability to be in charge of the prices. I mean, either that or, of course, policy-wise, make it so that they're not the ones choosing the prices, right? So, yeah. There's so much Discord stuff. Is this... Okay, this is my brother's chat, actually. Oh, there is some stuff happening in mine an hour ago. Oh, thank you, Levelhead. Okay, cool. I got it. Okay, I understand. Dopes. All right, let's now go on to the new solar tech thing because I am interested to see how people are helping oil heads adopt this kind of stuff. I like the term oil heads. We need like either that term or something similar to that for just oil sympathizers, for fossil fuel sympathizers, Give them a fun nickname. New solar tech could bring jobs to Rangeley. Where's Rangeley? Okay, starting off, where's Rangeley? The Herald Times. Where is this? I'm still skeptical on all the claims, but it's definitely interesting. Northwest Colorado. Oh, okay, got it. I see. We're hitting his home state. Okay. My goal, frankly, is to wait. You didn't author this, right? I'm sorry. I only know your like Levelhead name. I don't actually know your real name. This isn't you, is it? Did you write this? Or am I secretly reading one of your articles? Let me know. You did? Wait, this is you? You're Lucas? Ooh, I'm reading one of your articles. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, cool. Now I get to judge you journalistically. No, I'm kidding. All right. My goal, frankly, is to make the Western Slope the center of the universe for sensible solar. That's a good goal, said Doug Kiesewetter, CEO of Montrose-based I can't pronounce things, Cogency Power, to the Rangeley Board of Trustees during a special meeting last week. When was this? This was May. Okay, May 21. Kiesewetter presented his company's proprietary technology, highly concentrated photovoltaic thermal, which combines aerospace-grade gallium arsenide solar panels, 1,000-to-1 magnification, via parabolic mirrors and geothermal storage to achieve a better way to do solar. Nice. I feel like there's one of those things in... I want to say it's in Southern California. Maybe it's not the same thing, but that reminds me of it. I don't know. The presentation focuses on a few key points, primarily the cost effectiveness of Cogency's, am I pronouncing that right? Cogency's integrated distributed generation power system. Quote, we can deliver power to customers for 50 to 75% lower cost than what they've been experiencing with public utilities, said Kiesewetter. Cogency claims to achieve this level of high efficiency at a low cost by utilizing already existing technology in an integrated way. Nice. The key to this hasn't been technology based. It's how you assemble the technology pieces to make it work for the right applications. Absolutely. In an interview with HT earlier this week, he explained exactly how the technology works, noting it is already in use at 5 beta testing sites in the US, including 2 in Colorado. Interesting. Cogency. Okay, Cogency. Granzo explained that conventional silicon-based solar panels are already about 15 to 20% efficient and very temperature sensitive, losing additional efficiency in climates above 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, which is why agrivoltaics, the idea of having agriculture or plants underneath solar panels to cool the solar panels, is a great symbiotic relationship. Or you can use aquavoltaics, which is where you put solar panels on top of water bodies, which also helps cool them off, making them more efficient. Those drawbacks are what motivated Cogenci to go with gallium arsenide-based solar cells, which are used in satellites and other aerospace applications due to their temperature-intensive properties. Interesting. Gallium arsenide cells are nearly twice as efficient, around 40% compared to silicon. Normally, these types of solar panels would be cost prohibitive as they are far more expensive to produce, but Cogenci seems to have a solution to that problem as well. Interesting. I like how you're tackling all the different like ways that they're going to potentially like be like all the potential cons and just like tackling each of those, because I like that the company did that, and I like that you did that in the article too. Granzo said to achieve cost-effective power output with these cells, Cogenci uses parabolic mirrors to focus the solar energy up to 1,000 to 1 into a small area, reducing the amount of required solar material per panel. Yes, I think this does exist in SoCal. I think it does. I think I've seen it. I was on a road trip from the Grand Canyon, and I think that I saw one of these facilities, because it was kind of like a tower where it concentrated solar onto those solar panels. The company regularly notes, however, that the actual solar cells are just a part of what makes the system work in an economic and energy sense. The other big factor at play in these systems is the integration of thermal storage. While 40% of the energy is gallium arsenide cells is converted into electricity that can either be stored or used on demand, the remaining 60% is typically lost in dissipated heat energy. Cogenci's solution instead makes use of this heat, capturing and storing it in geothermal style boreholes for later use. Oh, interesting. A storage alternative that can be described as a thermal battery. Huh. This is super interesting. This is very technical too, I will say. Very technical. But that's how I write too, honestly. Because this shit is technical. What you gonna do? Putting this technology to practice in place like Rangeley seems to make sense from a Cogenci perspective for a number of reasons. For one, like much of Colorado's western slope, Rangeley gets a lot of sunshine, but Kit Sweater said that there's even more enticing advantages. Quote, the western slope is a highly skilled and independent workforce for whom the transition to solar geothermal would continue to provide well-paying natural resource jobs outside that capitalizes on the mechanical, electrical, and maintenance skills of the existing workforce. Absolutely. That's why I was saying in the video that y'all watched that it goes hand in hand. Maybe I should have hit even harder on the fact that blue collar work is still not, like, it's still blue collared work through and through. It's still, if you want that manual labor lifestyle, you can absolutely have that through clean energy. Skills like drilling, fabrication, and on-site construction / installation of natural resource infrastructure is all tied into the transferability of Cogenci's proposed system. If the company were to expand into the region, they also hope to partner with Colorado Northwestern Community College to develop training programs for the installation of their technology in other parts of the state and country. That would be so cool. Do you know if any of that happened? Because it's been a little while. With the booms and busts of the past few decades still fresh in the mind of many residents, these kinds of promises may feel too good to be true for many, but Cogenci says with an expectation to hundreds of new jobs in Montrose by the end of the year, they'll need to expand somewhere, and that somewhere might just be in Rangeley, Colorado. Whatever happens, you can be sure Rio Blanco County residents and officials will keep a close eye on Cogenci and their promises of a viable energy transition. Very nice. Yay. And you can spam him here. Cool. This is a good article. Thank you for sharing this with me. And it sounds like a really cool technology. And I would love to know if you know anything more about whether or not they have been able to expand. They pitched this to the town trustees and it was a masterclass. I was shocked that the trustees even listened to them. That's cool. But they put it in terms they can understand. Yeah. That's all that it takes, you know? And if you don't even say climate change, especially in those areas, it's better. We're talking about a town that's literally built on oil. Yeah, so it's one of those traditional energy communities. I bet that this company probably will get subsidies from the Inflation Reduction Act because they're building in a traditional energy community. Hopefully. They should. Maybe they won't because they've already built it, but maybe in the expansion processes they would get some subsidies for that because that's part of the transition is that it would have those subsidies. So very cool though. Very cool. Oh, they did? Nice. Okay. Was that from the bipartisan infrastructure bill or was that from something else? Do you know where they got that federal funding from? It's one of those bills? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how much the Inflation Reduction Act's stuff is already at work. Like, I see some of it, but I don't know, like, if the subsidies are available right now. I'm guessing they are because I don't know why they wouldn't be, but there's always sometimes like some regulatory processes that I don't understand. Yeah, it was probably the infrastructure bill because that one was a little later. I don't know. I've seen projects that say that they are being paid for by the IRA, but I just don't know if the subsidies are also fully in full swing, you know? I think they are, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Awesome. Well, so now let me go back to me. Because I have been talking for 3 hours straight. And my parents just got home, I think. That might have been a false alarm. I thought I just heard the door open, but I think the dog just jumped down. So, for those of you who are still here, we should chat sometime. I'm a local reporter, but I do a lot of environmental reporting. I would love to chat with you. I was very close to being a rural Utah reporter, by the way. And I just couldn't do it. I was just like, I've never been in a fully rural place in my life, and I would be very lonely, but I was very close to doing that myself. But I would be so down to chat sometime. Message me in the Discord, and we will exchange contact information for more chats. It would have been, oh, shoot, what's the town? It's not far from Zion. It's one of the really fast-growing towns. But it's using a shit ton of water, so water rights is a really big issue there because it's growing so much. Oh, it's Georgetown, I think. St. George, something like that. I know news people in the public radio station in Moab. Yeah, so it would have been for NPR, and it would have been like the Salt Lake is like the main place, but it would have been like a kind of a remote position, which was what bummed me out because I would have preferred to, since I'm still pretty new, because I just graduated college in 2019, so I'm new, so I would have wanted to get more training and more support by being in a bigger staff, which is ironic because now I'm just doing it on my own. But they would have put me in a rural position where I would have been completely on my own, and that was not quite what I was looking for if I was going to go further into the journalism route. Also, they called it environmental reporting, but it was kind of just reporting on anything that was happening in that area, and it's kind of the same thing as what you were saying, which is like it's not really a designated environmental position, but environmental topics come up a lot in the position, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I was already doing the Beckosphere, and I feel like it would have made it really hard for me to continue with it, and I was more infatuated with the Beckosphere than I was for going to rural Utah, so that's why I didn't. But before we go, for the special people who have stuck around for this long, someone just left, but for the rest of the people, I'm going to give you a Rue sighting, and then I'm going to say goodbye. So give me a sec. Hello, parentals. Hello. I'm still on chat. I'm showing Rue, and then I'm going to end the chat.
Okay.
Is there a cat here?
Yes, right over there.
He's a good boy.
Let's not go too far.
Okay. Kitten. I woke him up from a nap in the sunshine. I'm so mean. There we go. Thank you so much for everybody who was part of the chat. Thank you so much, Levelhead. And here, let me pull up the. No, don't leave me. Thank you so much, Levelhead, and A Difficult Truth, and Globus for giving me a subscription, and also thank you, Levelhead, for giving Why So Dankness a subscription. And excuse me, this is your job, Rue. This pays for the kibbles. You have to be here. He's not going to be here for very much longer. He's mad at me. Okay, fine. I tried. That's the most you get. Why So Dankness says meow, Rue. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for chatting with me. And I absolutely love doing these streams. Is there anyone else that we should raid, or should we go ahead and just say goodbye? I forgot to ask that earlier. Yes, bye, kitten. Is there anyone on the stream that you guys love that we should raid? I don't see anyone that I follow that's on stream right now. So maybe not. But if there's anyone that you guys like and you tell me in the next minute, then we can raid them. Otherwise, I will end the chat. Do 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 do. J Marion. What do they do? Okay, LGBTQ 420. I like all these. Political commentary? Alright, I'm down. Yeah, I like all the tags. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. Study journalism too. Oh, yeah. Alright. She's gonna raid. Okay, y'all. Let's do it. Oh, also, remember to talk about the climate crisis every single day and to support your local news organizations. Thank you very much. Okay, now I will do the thing. So it's... Okay. Do. Boop. Okay.